Hola, buenos días, soy Nico. And today we are here for another Nico's Vintage Highlight. Nico! I know it's been a good minute since I had that one faux pas with the last one where it wasn't edited properly because I was rushing, but this time I've been prepping this out for a couple of days in advance, recording the footage, editing to make sure it is with community guidelines and not copyright strikeable, along with writing down a little script. So today I'm going to be wearing my reading glasses. Nico, we are getting into docu-series mode. The reason I really wanted to get back to this was not only because you guys enjoyed the first video, but also because with how the internet is being censored nowadays, seeing as how Twitter needs ID verification, Europe needs ID verification. Without it, you cannot see adult content, meaning that on Twitter, the entirety of Europe cannot see adult content unless they upload their ID for verification purposes, but that is only accessible if you do Twitter Blue. So as of right now, most adult content in Europe is being censored. Unfortunately, I feel like that's going to be a trickle-down effect, seeing as how a lot of red states here in America already has this happening, and I want to be able to preserve the memory of adult golden age era black and brown films. Queer to be exact, seeing as how heterosexuals, I'm sure they have their own variant of me. Nico, I can't be the only one that enjoys super heavy adult fun time, but apparently I'm the only one documenting it in a video series like this. So I'm going to be doing this more often. I'm thinking about doing this maybe once every Friday, and then continuing with my tea and the social topics on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I can keep both crowds that enjoyed both of the content. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get on to the actual film. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly live streams, and to be a part of the live streams where we have a varied panel conversation with various topics depending on the week. If that or the 200 plus exclusive videos found on Patreon sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. And this week's exclusive video is going to be going over the Marco Pera situation and how a lot of people unfortunately don't know that collaborations with him is basically a ticket to social lashings. Nico, what do you mean? He's simply a white person of color that's a jigga to the bone who loves to give back to the black community by donating to black families at Waffle House. I mean, who could not tell that he was a true ally? And with that, we can get on to the actual video topic. Today, we are going to be talking about the classic, the hood classic, instant classic, Take 'Em Down 2. Nico, what makes Take 'Em Down 2 a vintage classic? Honestly, I would not even rate most of the scenes in this DVD as top tier collaborations, but as always, my favorite Tiger Tyson makes an appearance, and there's just a certain je ne sais quoi when it comes to him. He has a swagger about him, this air and energy. Even when the collaboration itself did not fully go through as planned, you can still find enjoyment in the way he and the others interact on this film. So without further ado, before I continue to ramble, let's get on to the actual topic.
That party was off, sure. Yeah, that light skinned nigga was in the too. She got that one. Not as good as you, though.
Now, the film originally starts off with a montage of the scenes to come, basically like a pseudo trailer before you actually get into the DVD and see what's going to be happening. I appreciated it because it had the nostalgic backing music track of the early 2000s and 2010s, but it gradually transitioned into the actual opening of the movie, where you see a bunch of people playing basketball in the inner city of New York, and from there it transitions into what seems like a hotel scene between two performers who, this is my first time seeing them on camera, but I was pleasantly surprised. One is the top in the white do-rag called Juice, while the other is surprisingly the bottom in the black do-rag called Slayer. Nico, why do you say surprisingly? Honestly, Slayer is a bit taller than Juice, not too much, but at least a couple of inches. And from there, the automatic thought of tall bottom does not cross my mind, unfortunately. But I was actually pleasantly surprised because they had immediate chemistry. Nico, what do you mean? Honestly, if I was not watching a movie, I would think these two were a couple and or work husbands, if that makes sense, meaning they filmed multiple times before, but seeing as how this was my first time actually seeing them on film, I doubt it. So being able to catch lightning in a bottle on your first try, pretty immaculate if I have to say so myself. Though I personally didn't enjoy how the mattress didn't have a sheet on it, you take what you can get, but overall, the stroke started off slow and patient to allow Slayer to open up, but from there, it transitioned into something passionate that you would basically see in your own bedroom, where it's not the brain rot version of Super Happy Adult Fun Time, where it's just using somebody as an impound cushion, but genuine mutual satisfaction. So this scene in particular on this DVD between Juice and Slayer, I would give it a 5 out of 5 just because they both look amazing. It subverted who I thought was going to be the bottom, seeing as how Slayer was taller than Juice and Juice had a lip piercing, which usually meant you were a bottom in most films back then. But I was also pleasantly surprised from the slow kissing to the intimate foreplay to the caressing to the gentle strokes. Overall, very intimate and an instant classic. And I can see why a lot of people enjoy this DVD just from the starting scene.
The fuck you, this nigga. The fuck you doing here, son? What about you? What doing with you, son? That fucked me up with the basketball, boy. Basketball? You was around the corner, wasn't you? I was hoping this shit. They fucked my fucking leg up. Nigga, this is swollen. Nigga, what the fuck, man? You know what your problem is? You can't play fucking ball. Stay out the club, bitch. Nigga, come on, nigga, let's go chill. Pass the rock. Man, yo, why don't you take a shower, relax, man. Y'all be over here relax, alright? Hurry up. Take a shower, beat your ass up, man. Are you done? So how to act? You know what? Relax, I'm gonna show you how to fix that thing. It's this one, right? You alright? Alright, just relax, take it easy.
The next scene is the beginning of what makes this DVD an instant classic. Nico, what do you mean? It is between two of the finest men to ever cross film. I wouldn't say that means they're the most exciting to ever cross film. I'm gonna get to that in a second. It's between Tiger Tyson and Castro Supreme. Nico! Yes, I know, Tiger Tyson and Gummy Worm, respectfully. I call him that because later in his career, Castro Supreme would consistently struggle staying prepared for the actual scene. But though he says he's straight, every time he's actually in a film with Tiger Tyson in particular, he is radiating a joyful and energetic energy that seems almost like a boyish crush, if we're being honest. That's why I personally see the magic of Castro Supreme, but only when he is in the company of Tiger Tyson. Once they stop doing scenes together, be it tag teams and or Castro being taught by Tiger, the light kind of left his eyes in the scenes going forward, if I'm being genuinely honest. But that's not only the best part. Of course, it started off slightly slow with bursts of aggression, but progressively throughout the scene, Tiger continued to establish his dominance over Castro with playful slaps, slightly degrading language, and then saying that to finally fully assert his dominance over him, he's going to call his homeboy so he can get a piece of this ass.
Show you how much my ass this is. And I'm bringing one of my boys to tear this ass up. You hear me? Whose ass is it? Tigers. Tigers? Who? Tigers. I'm gonna show you how much is my ass. Cause it's gonna be my ass, my boy's ass. Cause you know why? You my bitch.
Yes. It's not what you're thinking. seeing as how most people, when they see this phone call scene, they think it's going to turn into a little group situation. But in reality, Tiger Tyson actually finishes before his homeboy shows up. So after they stop their session, 10 minutes later, and the doorbell rings. Meanwhile, Tiger Tyson keeps it fly, cool, and sweet when he says, "I'ma hop in the shower. It's waiting over there for you. Just get it popped in. Just hop right in."
Oh, let's go. Where that? Right there. Let's keep it moving, baby. Okay. What up? I had to get it ready. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'm about to jump in the shower. Have some fun. On it.
There, scene 3 began with Cameron and Castro. Nico, this scene, Castro, Nico, Castro's best bottoming scene. And I want to say slightly because it started off legitimately right after him and Tiger Tyson, so he was already pretty prepared, if you know what I mean. But even throughout that scene, I appreciated that Cameron gave Castro the time to open up. Yes, he was prepared, but Castro is still fairly new and novice at bottoming at this point of his career, so they started off slow and the passion and aggression slowly picked up throughout, even stopping halfway to assist Castro in helping himself be more prepared by bringing out props for assistance. Nico, I have to word this very carefully because of YouTube, because the scenes of the movie are greenlit, but I don't know how they're going to take my language. From there, they continued on, and I appreciated that throughout the film, Castro progressively got more animated and enthusiastic, basically going from full moans to vocal audible feedback to moaning while the scene was finishing, even though I personally believe that final part was simulated. Nico, what do you mean? The way Cameron went from active strokes to jutting up and down with body spasms that didn't seem authentic to me, my thought process is, behind the scenes, Castro said, "All right, I had to tap out. We got to hurry this up. Let's make it look good." And they did. So overall, I waited for the rating, seeing as how these two scenes were connected. But scene number 2 between Tiger Tyson and Castro, I would genuinely give it a 5 out of 5. Solely because this is one of the few times where Castro has bottomed, and it has been so euphoric to see on both ends. Because Tiger Tyson, aggressive, was talking to him kind of crazy. Personally, I would not have been able to tolerate that if I'm being real. But Castro took it in stride with laughs and smiles, and they had a playful banter and back and forth with their energy, even when they transitioned from Castro and Tiger to Cameron and Castro. I would say for the second part of the scene, which is scene number 3, I would give it a 5 out of 5. Just because there was still vocal audible moaning, conversation, and the energy of Castro being prepared for the scene after the initial start where Cameron took it slowly. Meaning, he was able to get up in there. It's very rare in Castro's bottoming scenes for there to be actual movement, but Cameron was, he was tenderizing the meat till it was fall off the bone ready. Nico, yes. Well, yes. But with that, let's get on to the next scene.
See that shit? Nigga, the only layup right now. So you like the new place?
Yeah,
It's tight, right?
yeah.
I know it's gonna take a while to hook it up and shit. So where you was coming from? Who? Alright. You work today?
No, that's not true.
So now you ready to start modeling, huh? What took you so long? Been calling you and calling you. You don't want to fucking answer nobody. What the hell? But it's all good. You ready though? We gonna handle that though. You heard? But we gonna have to have a little test run. You got to show me what it's like. You got something good for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit is tight.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Show me what you all about, yo.
Now, the next scene is between Tiger Tyson and a performer whose career I'm assuming ended after this film. Nico, why do you say that? It is a performer named Sexy K. Unfortunately, even throughout the charismatic, playful banter that Tiger Tyson always brings to his scenes, where the scene basically started off with them catching up and Tiger Tyson complaining about how long it took Special K to want to start his modeling career. But even in that line delivery, Special K was mumbling, barely audible, and if paying attention. I give credit to that too. Back in the day, acting abilities tend to come second compared to sex appeal. But even then, Sexy K did not really have sex appeal. Nico, what are you talking about? Even when they were having vocal banter and Tiger Tyson was like, yeah, it tastes good. Yeah, you like that? Special K was not only not receptive, but also barely interested. He was more so focused on the act, not making eye contact and or speaking, along with keeping his eyes closed throughout most of the scene. So, Tiger Tyson basically carried this by being a vocal top with no one to bounce conversation off of. And normally, I'm not actually that into vocal tops. Let out a moan here or there, but I don't need you telling me anything. But with Tiger Tyson, Nico, Tiger Tyson is a different story, seeing as how I like his cadence, his tone, his swagger. That's why he's one of my favorite performers, even though he's not renowned for just laying it down like that. But it's just something about him and his charismatic energy that makes you want to continue watching his films. I say that because it reminds me of what Jill Scott once said. Nico, what did she say? If you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then you can't tell me what to do. It's very simple like that. Tiger Tyson has the kind of energy, vocal tone, and cadence like, yeah, you can talk to me crazy. I'll let you do it. I'd still take you to your parole officer meetings. Yes, Nico. That's more of an anecdote about my own personal life because I dated somebody who I would drive them to their parole officer meetings. But the principal, the principal stands. He's one of those men that if you say jump, I'm gonna say how high. I'm down bad. But overall, this scene, I can only really give it a 2 out of 5. Even though I enjoyed Tiger Tyson being vocal and I enjoyed him doing his thing and staying authentic to himself, even when having a poor acting partner. Special K like the cereal. Sexy K. Sexy K's lack of energy, lack of enthusiasm, and basically pretending he's not there throughout the entire scene, even though he's the bottom, it kind of makes it unenjoyable to watch, if I'm being honest.
Oh man, I've been waiting all day. About time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just sit right there. That's good for me. A good 10. Oh man. Well, I gave most of the money to, I paid my credit card to the company, so. What did I do? Really? Oh, shit, you got an idea like that? I can definitely tip you this week.
Now for the finale, between Tiger Tyson and another newcomer named Smarts. Nico, I don't know if Smarts had future projects, but I do know that they did an amazing job here. It was a very cute and coy intro where Tiger Tyson basically had a mover come over and set up his new apartment. But when the mover said, "Is there a tip?" Tiger said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have no cash on me, but I could give you another tip." And from there, it was on. Nico, what do you mean? I would say that this was genuinely the most mutually pleasurable scene Tiger Tyson has had in the entire DVD. Not only were they gently caressing, slow strokes with various paces, but also Tiger Tyson taking the time to kiss him on the neck while they're laying on top of each other, or holding him tightly and caressing his body and gently moving his hands across him, to the point that Smarts was even leaking during the scene, showing that he was genuinely enjoying himself along with his vocal moans of pleasure. So overall, I would say this was the most patient scene from the start that progressively picked up but never got too crazy. Throughout the entire scene, you could tell that it wasn't being done strictly for film, but that they were genuinely enjoying the encounter, to the point that Tiger Tyson had to hop out at the last second because he was already arriving to the party a bit too early. So, if you want something that is slow-paced, intimate, and genuine, where you can genuinely tell Tiger Tyson is bisexual and enjoys himself some black men, I would definitely check out the final scene of this DVD between him and Smarts. But with that, I'd say this scene in particular could only rate a 4 out of 5, and I wouldn't give it a perfect 5 out of 5 for the sole fact that there are not a lot of variations in positions. A lot of the time, it is in missionary, or it is in flat dog. How do you, when the bottom is on their stomach and the top is laying on top of them? I don't know how to say that one. I'm not that much of an expert, but I would say if they had more varying positions, it would definitely be a 5 out of 5, but it tends to stay in those two. But with that being said, I would rate this DVD overall a solid 4 out of 5. You're not going to find a lot of the new age OnlyFans aggression in this film. Nico, what do you mean? You're not going to see the top leaving the bottom like a lifeless husk on top of the bed once they're finished using them. This DVD was more of a genuine passion project where each scene where there was chemistry, you could tell that they genuinely enjoyed themselves, but were also trying to prioritize that their partner was enjoying themselves as well. It was not a one-sided movie. So if you can do the slow pace, more intimate kissing and missionary kind of films, I would definitely suggest it because this is a gem in the black and brown golden era cinematography field. Nico, what do you mean? When you hear take him down, you understand it's Tiger Tyson because he did what had to be done. But with that being said, before I continue to ramble, definitely let me know if you have seen this movie. Would you also rate it a 4 out of 5? Or what would your rating for this film be, seeing as how it is a classic? I know a lot of people are divided on Tiger Tyson because some believe that he wasn't as aggressive as he could have been. Some believe that he didn't bring the energy that brought the scene to life like I do, but personally he is one of my favorites, and I appreciated his Pitbull production company that made these black and brown films for black and brown audiences. But with that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop! And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, C-Dub and Jermaine W. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. We're almost at 46K girlies! And this week's live stream discussion is going to be over do the classics still stand up? Do vintage videos compared to the new age of OnlyFans? If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in.